go. Everybody goods to goes.
Should we do, like, you introduce me and you, and you're like, it's Chris, got my son Jason, and I got my oldest son Ryan. Ryan, introduce yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I'm
you'll be like, hey, I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
I'm in the adult film industry.
I'm in the adult film industry. I work with other actors such as Mia Khalifa,
Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins. I play the janitor in most of them who gets kicked out.
I'm in the beginning scenes of it, and then I walk away.
I'm the teacher that walks out of the room.
I play the blind boyfriend.
I play the blind boyfriend. I play the pizza's boss.
I'm also the cleanup guy in between scenes.
Yeah,
I'm the stage setter.
They don't pay me. I'm an intern, but it's for publicity. It's supposed to publicity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
get my start.
I know my way around the set.
I know my way around the set.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Anyway. All right.
I clean the
Ready?
cameras.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris at Small Circle. I got Jason with me. We always do these things, and then we have a special guest today, my oldest son, Ryan.
I am Ryan. I'm an actor. I was saying,
He's an aspiring actor trying to
Yes.
make it. He just moved back from LA right before the fires happened and all that and everything.
just in time.
So, but anyway, so we're gonna tackle the top 5 movies of all time. All of us have our lists. Ryan has a list pulled up from was it Empire?
Empire.
Okay, Empire. We're going to go over the movies on that list, and we're going to go through our own top 5s, talk about them, whatever. At the end of it or whatever, if you agree, give a thumbs up. If you don't agree, tell us, comment on, on the movie that we missed or whatever. We're probably going to try to maybe go live, next weekend, maybe?
Yeah, I've been trying to go live.
Go live and
Hopefully
talk
I can
about
get the
this.
last weekend of
Yeah,
this month.
yeah, right.
Which I think it is. Next weekend.
Next weekend is the last
because
weekend,
the one
yeah.
after that, I think it falls on the 1st. So,
Right, because we went live last month,
yeah,
the last Sunday of last
January.
month.
Yeah.
And we talk about movies or whatever, or what we've talked about previous on this last couple of episodes. But anyway, Ryan, you just got back from Utah, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I
he
just
went
got
to
back.
the Sundance Film Festival.
Sundance Film Festival. I saw a movie called Lurker, which my friend was in. We went to college together. It's really cool. She just hit me up out of nowhere. I was like, hey, you should come by, see this movie that I'm in. Like, you don't have to though. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna come support you.
Sure, right.
I was like, you're really cool to me. I've been cool to you. And it was a really good movie, man.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. It set the precedent for like films for me in the future. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the cheap set, and it wasn't a very expensive cast.
Yeah.
So had that Archie person in it. I can't
Yeah,
remember
he's from Gran Turismo.
exactly.
He
Yeah,
plays
Archie.
the lead guy in Gran Turismo.
Exactly.
He's going to be in this film, right?
Yes, he's in this film.
Yeah, he's in the film.
Coming to theaters soon.
Yeah. Okay, well that's cool. How was it there?
It was good. It was good. It was really snowy and I love the cold. So
Right.
it's one of my favorite things, and I'd honestly move to colder spots. But what I loved about it the most was the community. So everybody knows about Sundance, but everybody from the art district and whatnot comes to
Sure, right.
Sundance. So they're dressed all differently, more like me. You know what I mean? And then you can tell the country folk who are just Utahians. You know what I
Right,
mean?
because it's like a hick town almost, right?
It kind of, right? It's almost like a winter park.
Yeah, okay.
Right, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So it's
right.
like it's a little
Ski
more
town,
localized, a little
resort
more. You got to be a
type.
little rich to live in that part. But you go like a mile out, then it's all town and farms and farmland, blah blah blah.
That's cool.
A good deal.
All right. Well, let's see. You got the list up.
Yes, I got the top 5.
Okay. Is this of all time or like,
This is this is just Empire's
particular-
list of top 100 movies, right?
Okay,
But I'm
gotcha.
obviously going with the top 5 from
yeah,
here.
for sure. Yeah.
And it says, and these are the top 5 movies. So
It's not yours. It's the Empire.
It's not mine,
From
it's
the
Empire.
from the internet.
exactly the interwebs,
Yes.
and this is the top one.
Gotcha.
It's Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001.
Wop wop. I didn't like that movie. I mean, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. The trilogy was cool, all that, whatever. But I like the second one better than the first. but I mean, it was cool. It won like a shit ton of awards.
Yeah.
You know, making the whatever Elijah Wood and all that, whatever, making the hobbits, you know, small and all that and everything. It was cool.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah, it was first.
Yeah.
One. First one. Yeah, first one. All right, what else got?
And then we have Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, which we
This
this
is
the fifth one.
That was episode 5, right? Yeah.
This
So
is
technically
episode
the
5.
second one, right?
Technically, the second one, if you want to go from that.
Release
From
order.
release
from
order,
release order.
right? It's
Yeah.
the
Release
second
order.
one.
But it's the second
Harrison
one.
Ford, Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You know, whatever. James Earl Jones as
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, Jason and I had about like a 30-minute argument, which was going nowhere because I knew I was right, but somehow he gaslit me to think he was right.
Okay,
he
so
thought-
so I've never seen the Star Wars movies before, just a few months ago, because me and Alexa wanted to get into it.
Right.
So I knew that the release order was weird. Like I knew it was like,
Yeah.
and chronologically it was like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So I was like, but technically episode 1 came out first, because I didn't know that after all of them came out, they changed the names to episode 4, 5, 6. Like I didn't know that it only released as A New Hope, and then like episode 4 behind it. So I was like, so I was talking to Ryan. I was like, so technically, I should watch like episode 1 first, because that's the first one that came out. Like from if I was watching it in theaters in the 70s. And he was like, no, it's episode 4. I was like, so you're telling me when it came out, it was called A New Hope episode 4. Like that's kind of what threw me off like
Wait.
the whole time. But
What was even funnier?
after learning that they put the numbers like after the first 6 released, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Because it was just Star Wars. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
They didn't add the New Hope
What-
until
okay.
they added the whatever the other 3.
episode,
What was
yeah.
even funnier is I thought halfway through this argument, I'm like, Jason's doing a bit right now. Like, there's no way. He was
no
like,
way this
he was
guy's
sticking
serious
to
right
his
now.
guns. He was like, so you're genuinely telling me that this and this like released there? I was like,
you know,
Jason, are you?
And what's
serious?
worse, bro, is that he always thinks that he's right.
Always.
So like he's going
So I
on
thought
thinking
I
that
was
you're
wrong.
an idiot.
That's what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
thought I was wrong first. I was like, well, maybe that did. I'm like, no, I know. I know for sure.
And you had to tell me like you were like the guy who plays Anakin like wasn't even born yet. Like,
wasn't even born yet. And Jason, he's like, so you're telling me 4, 5, and 6 came out right? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Anyway, I agree. I don't think it should be the top movie of all time, right? But I
Yeah.
think because again, with these,
Oh, it's
with
up
these
there,
films,
man.
like it's definitely up there. It's a top
But-
10, top 5.
Right. But what's really cool about it is like, I think it was one they're on the Death Star.
Right.
And it shows all the stormtroopers and all the what do you call it, the spaceships or whatever, they're all and they're all on the landing pad, and it's some guy, he's drawing them, right? It's like a glass,
Yeah.
right? And he's drawing all this on there, right? You know what I mean? And it's shot from like way back, and so whenever people are walking or whatever like that, it's just a big empty room, but
Yeah.
but from the camera angle, it looks like there's like
Exactly.
actual spaceships there
Yep.
and all this shit, whatever. So it's definitely the production of it is pretty cool.
100%.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
At number 3, we have The Godfather.
Godfather's
Which
nice.
is
I like the
given.
second one better
More.
than the first one, but the first one's still good. The third one is absolutely shit.
Okay.
But
I was gonna say, third one was awful, but my teacher was in there.
oh, that's
My
cool.
teacher was in that one. He was cool. He did really great, but yeah, awful.
Yeah.
Awesome
Okay.
movie.
What else you got?
At number 4, we have The Dark Knight, Batman.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight. I don't think it'd be top
Ledger,
5.
Christian Bale.
I don't think it's top 5.
Yep.
But I think
one.
it's a solid movie.
Yeah, and we
Solid.
talked about this earlier. Like, if you're breaking down into superhero or DC movies alone, that at least just for DC alone, that's probably number 1. I don't think they have a better movie
Nah,
than
yeah.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But-
That Wonder Woman was actually pretty decent. Like the first one
yeah,
that came
first
out.
one, yeah, the '84 or whatever, the second one.
Yeah, that
was,
one.
yeah,
Nah,
that
I
one
didn't really
did
care
good.
for that
okay.
one.
That was
But yeah,
alright.
the first one that came out, I thought was good. And I think it exceeded a lot of people's expectations too. And
It's like basically that one came out and was like we're basically more than Batman and Superman.
yeah, basically, yeah,
You
trying
know
to
what I'm
say
saying?
that, yeah. But they
yeah.
tried to, they tried to make like Aquaman, Suicide Squad, all that stuff, and it just,
Yeah.
That wasn't that. Yeah, they
Didn't
just took
really
a hard,
work.
hard turn. Didn't work out for them. Anyway, okay, what else got?
And then at 5 we have Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption's, yeah, I like that one. Stephen King, he wrote it. It's got Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. I mean, it's well quoted. It's quoted, quite some time. Yeah, that's solid. It was always on TV for some reason. Whatever when we did have cable, that one was like always on TV. But anyway, okay. So who wants to go first on their top 5?
You want to start us out?
Yeah,
Go down the line,
okay,
and
yeah.
we'll end with the big
Okay.
film.
Yeah.
Film buff.
Yeah.
Film buff. All right. If anybody that knows me, they know that my top movie of all times is gonna be Scarface. I like it. If you're from my era, you know that you skip the first VHS tape and you go right into the second VHS tape, and then whoever you're watching it with that's never seen it, you just catch them up.
Yeah.
Because the second tape is awesome. Is when all the good shit starts to happen. But anyways, though, when it came out, it was an Oliver Stone. When it came out, it didn't do very well. All that whatever, and then now it's a cult classic. And
right.
Everybody knows Al Pacino now, basically because of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Godfather put Al Pacino on the map, but then it kind of just showed his range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he went from like an Italian guy to a Cuban guy, all that, whatever. Very good. My second is Blow, and you'll see on my list, whatever. It's very drug and armed robbery related.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of illegal activity going on, but Blow. It was just Johnny Depp. It shows Johnny Depp's range. It shows it's like
right.
top, good cast, good movie. Shows the rise and fall of one of the biggest drug dealers in America under Pablo Escobar. It's a true story. You know what I mean? So once you do that and you start looking up the guy or whatever, the actual George Young, you realize, man, he's still in prison and all this.
Like,
and
he's an actual
dude.
Yeah,
man. My third one is Fight Club, which is really good flick, another good flick. It has Brad Pitt and Edward Norton in it, whatever, you come to find out it's at the end or whatever, it has a huge twist, and you come to find out that there's both the same person, just like kind of schizophrenic type dude.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of. I'll go ahead and give you guys a disclaimer right now. There's gonna be a lot of spoiler alerts, but
I say no one has any recent movies in their list, so
right, yeah.
nothing
All these lists are
like
10 years plus.
Right.
Mine are anyway. Godfather 2, I'll put that one up there on my top 5, dude, because it's just such a great flick, well written.
Yeah.
All this with the story behind the whole Godfather and the whole Godfather series, whatever, is phenomenal as well, because they actually had to get permission from the actual mobsters to make this movie, and they had to have some guy. They had to have a mobster or whatever on the set to make sure that they weren't giving up too much information and all that, dude. That's just, it's cool. And then my fifth, rounding it out is Warriors. Yeah. Warriors is such a great flick, right? It's about a gang that's caught up in the middle of New York City in Central Park. They get set up for killing this other gang member, Cyrus, whatever, who wants to basically take over the whole city. Right, and have it ran by gangs. Right, he wants to take over the mayor. He wants to take over all the cops and all this and like that. He's orchestrating the whole gangs to take over the whole city. Well, he ends up getting shot by this one gang, and that gang blames it on the Warriors. So everybody, the whole gang or whatever, all these gangs are after the Warriors, and they're trying to make it back to Coney Island, which is their home. So, and they're trying to stop. They're on the subway. Well, they set the subway tracks on fire, so they have to get off the subway and go on foot, and they're just getting chased down. It's very nostalgia and means a lot to me personally, because I was in Aransas. And I was at my Uncle Alfred, my Aunt Diane's house when I was young, and it started to come on TV. And then my Uncle Alfred was like, "Man, you really need to watch this movie. It's really good. It's called The Warriors." All this, and he explained it to me. So, and ever since that time, like I'll just throw it on like just occasionally, dude, because it's just such a good movie from
Right.
beginning to end, and it's just like and it's a good memory for me to have whatever as well. So, but yeah, now he really put me on that flick, and it's like I said, it's up there in the top 5 for sure. That rounds out my top 5. We'll get into honorable mentions later because I got like top 10.
And a very iconic dad top 5 in my
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
right.
very like this is very like
Yeah,
Like
it's
people,
solid.
like people
Yeah.
your age, like 40, like 40s to 50s, your
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, we
That's
love-
definitely like,
love
yeah,
those
they're
kind
gonna
of
appreciate
movies.
that list. Mine, not so much.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. I'll kick us off. I'll go from 5 to 1.
Okay.
At number 5, I have Interstellar.
Yeah.
But, as if we were talking about
That's
that
a good one.
earlier, Matthew McConaughey plays the lead, obviously. And I say, dude, my whole thing on it is the plot, dude. And the twist that like towards the very last like 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, dude, there's just so much to it. Like, if you've seen the movie, you're like, yeah, bro, I can respect that.
Right.
But if you've never seen the movie before, then and you try to explain it, it's just kind of like, it seems like it's too much.
Yeah,
or like,
right.
which it is a long movie. It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something. But dude, if you sit down and watch it and you like pay full attention the entire time, because if you look away for a second, you'll be like, whoa, like what just happened? And like, but dude, it messes with the whole like concept of time. And there's like a sad scene where this one guy, like, because there's like it's like 4 people that go to space.
Right.
It's like Matthew McConaughey, Anne
They're-
Hathaway, and then
they're-
like a couple,
they're
I
trying-
think like 2 other guys.
They're trying to find because basically the terrain on Earth is deteriorating.
Yeah, it's becoming inhabitable.
So- right, so
they're
they're
trying to
trying to
find.
Space in the future.
Right.
It's not even like distant future.
No.
It's like a more of a dystopian future where
Oh,
like
I see.
where like dude like it's like okay like Earth is about to slowly
You know,
become
yeah.
inhabitable. We got to find
Yeah.
somewhere else to live. And Matthew McConaughey is like a retired like engineer and he used to work for like
NASA or
yeah,
whatever
NASA
or
and
something.
stuff. So he has to go back and help, and his daughter doesn't want him to because she knows it's
Yeah.
going to be super dangerous and he might not make it back.
Yeah.
And eventually towards the end, they obviously find somewhere else to live. And but there's a scene where they go to a planet and you hear a tick, and this is why I like Christopher Nolan so much too. You hear a tick. Every single tick is like an hour back on Earth, or like a day or something. So they were on that
I
planet
think
for
it's a
maybe
year.
30 minutes to maybe like 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was on the spaceship. When
Right.
he came back, they were like, it's been 40 years. He
Right.
was living all by himself
Yeah.
on that spaceship, the whole
waiting
time.
for
Yeah.
those guys,
waiting for them to
bro.
come back, bro. Like
Not knowing whether or not they were gonna
Insane.
come back or not.
Like,
bro.
dude,
Like,
that's
yeah, dude,
insane.
that one's
that's
insane.
Yeah.
But,
And then you got the iconic scene at the end where he's
Yeah,
like
where he's-
screaming and he's like,
yeah, he's in the
"No,
fourth dimension.
No,
They fall
you know
in the
what I
black
mean? And then
hole and
it's like
everything.
he's trying,
Yup.
and then you find out that it was him the whole time trying to get him to
Yup.
stay.
Yeah,
You know,
there's,
so it's
there's
cool.
so much to that movie. We could talk about it forever.
Yeah,
but
but
all right, moving on to number 4. I've got Warrior with Tom Hardy. Not your Warriors. It's mine.
it's
Where
Warrior,
him,
Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte.
that's
Yeah.
name. Yeah, I say they're brothers that got separated when they were younger, but they end up entering in the was it the Sparta?
Right.
Like it's like a
It's
UFC,
a
type
UFC
deal.
type fighting.
And they split when they were younger. Someone went with his dad, and the other brother went with his mom, and they have completely different lives. And they both really needed the money because someone's like a struggling teacher,
Yeah.
and the other one he's just like just down on his luck, like just doing just enough to like stay alive. And Tom Hardy plays like a war veteran, and he committed like a war crime too.
Right.
So after like his last fight, he was supposed to get like arrested by military and everything. That's super emotional, bro. And then we were talking about what the scene in the casino,
with him and
where his dad is trying
Tom
to
Hardy and
reconnect
his
with
dad,
him, and he
bro.
like, bro, he's like playing slots, and he's got like a thing, and he's like, man, he's like, basically saying like, go F yourself, and he throws like the coins at him and all that.
Really?
Yeah, and his
Bro.
dad was like 1,000 days sober, and like later, like that day or like the next morning or something, he goes to his room and he's like, you see like pills and bottles all over
everywhere.
the
He's
floor,
all fucked up, bro.
and he's got like
Yeah.
headphones on, listening to like sailor stories and all that.
He's listening to Moby Dick on tape.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah.
really?
On tape, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like super sad, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good. That's good. That's real emotional
That's
too.
a solid flick.
Yeah. Get off number 3. I've got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second of the trilogy.
Of the newer trilogy, right?
The trilogy.
Good.
Before
the one
Kingdom.
After, right. The one after the one with James Franco.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
James
yeah.
Franco's, that's the Rise, right?
Yeah, James Franco's Rise,
Yeah.
but he wasn't in the next
That's
two.
the first one, right?
Yeah, James Franco
Yeah.
was in the first one, Rise. Yeah,
Right,
and then it's Dawn, and then
Dawn,
it's War.
and then War.
Which
right.
they're all good. They're all super good. But
Yeah,
my
they are,
personal
yeah.
favorite is Dawn because that's where he's real conflicted with Koba, which
Right.
was somebody that was also raised in a lab with
Right. So he hates.
yeah,
Koba
he
hates humans.
He hates
Yeah.
humans because he was tortured in a lab. And
Exactly.
Caesar
Was
he got the
raised
easy
by
way
a
out. He was
human.
raised by a human
Right.
and was like in his own like safe home. And this
He's
is
trying to coexist.
yeah,
and
this is
Koba's
he's
not
trying to
having it.
coexist, and Koba's like, no, they need to die. And after the events of Dawn, at the end of Dawn, Caesar kills Koba, and it outbreaks a war, which starts War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Number 2, I know y'all kind of disagree with it because it's like I guess you can say it's kind of cheating, but I do have Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah.
Great movie. Me personally, better than Endgame. And like we said earlier, I mean, dude, you never see the heroes like lose, especially
Right.
that bad.
Yeah.
Like, you see them like kind of like lose, but at the end of the movie, they still come back and win. Like with this one, dude, like they legit like. You thought like you could stop the Avengers timeline after that and just be like, yep, that's it. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
lost and there's nothing you can do.
Right. Yeah.
And man, like
I was like the biggest thing, which we talked about it before. The biggest thing that I have about doing any type of like Marvel movies or whatever on these top 5, whatever, and I guess you could say a lot about it about a lot of movies, on the top 5s or whatever, is the graphics, the CG,
CGI.
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
CGI.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all CGI.
Yeah.
You take all that away, it's maybe 2 or 3 people, whatever, on the scene.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
So it
you're
just
like,
seems like
you know-
cheating.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right,
Like,
yeah,
like, you
exactly.
hire
Which makes
your-
sense,
Yeah.
but
the
that's why-
storyline is so
yeah,
I say
badass
the
though that
storyline,
kind of
that's
just
what-
makes
and
up
like,
for it.
And bro, you've built the emotional connection with these
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
for a while.
For a
now.
while, yeah,
Because
right.
Iron Man was what 2008,
Something.
like that,
Oh,
and then
man.
Captain
Wanna
America
talk
was
about
probably
good Marvel movies.
Captain America was probably like 2010 when he was first introduced and everything, and then so then like you build this connection with every single one of these characters, and then like all of a sudden they just lose at the end of the
Yeah.
movie, and like you said, you walk out of the theater either crying or with your jaw to the floor, bro.
Oh my God.
Like,
Because it's insane.
Bro.
You're just like you're watching it. And I remember when we first left the theaters, we're just like, what are they gonna do now? Like half the Avengers are dead.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like literally are gone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
which I mean, yeah, and I like the way they, they won in game and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think it gets confusing. That's why it's not everyone's favorite because it's the whole time traveling and stuff, which I really love the concept of the
Yeah.
game too. And then when Tony Stark meets his dad, and like it's an insane concept. But then again, me personally, Infinity War is better.
Yeah.
I say that.
Gotcha.
Number 1, I've got Jordan Peele's first movie, Get Out. That is my probably number 1 favorite movie of all time. I know a lot of people that don't watch it because it's like a horror thriller
I
kind
haven't
of movie,
I haven't seen it.
which it's really it's really not that bad. It's nothing that's
Right.
like really
It's
that
not.
scary.
It's not that
But
bad.
like, dude, this movie is so good, dude. Like
I think you like it.
the entire plot of it, like from beginning all the way to the end,
Yeah.
and something that I didn't even know until I rewatched it. A guy gets like kidnapped at the very beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
and the main character, when he goes to that party with like all the sketchy white people, he sees that guy, and you don't know you don't realize that's him getting kidnapped until like you watch it like a second time. But you see him, and he's like acting all weird. He's acting like an 80-year-old white man and all fancy,
Yeah.
and
Right,
like
yeah.
and that's where things start to get like weird. And then he hits him with the camera flash, and he's telling him to like get out, you gotta go, like something's bad's gonna
Movie
happen.
title.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
title drop.
Right, boom.
Yeah, and then that's whenever he finds out. And at the end of it, what I like about it is obviously he gets away, but there's an alternate ending where because his best friend is a TSA agent, and he's like, man, I don't like this. Something's going on. He's on it the entire time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he saves him at the very end. But there's an alternate ending where cops pull up, like regular cops, and like put your hands in the air because he has to kill his like girlfriend, basically everyone there,
Yeah.
and put your hands in the air. and he goes to prison, and his TSA agent is trying to save him. He's like, no, bro, like, we can do this. We can get out of this or whatever. And he's talking to him through the glass and all that. And he's like, nah, bro, it ain't going to happen. And he just, like, hangs up and walks away. And he just serves life in prison.
Damn,
Insane.
bro,
Yeah,
that's
a good,
insane, dude.
That's a good alternate.
Yeah.
I actually really like
Nah,
that.
Jordan Peele, dude. He like this one of those ones that just he did the sketch comedy, right? Like
Yeah.
Keenan Peele, whatever. And you just think of him as that, just a whatever
exactly,
comedian,
exactly,
you know, funny guy,
Yeah.
whatever and stuff like that. And then for him to make these movies like that, bro, it's just like, I mean, he's given like M. Night Shyamalan whatever a run for his money. You know what I mean?
And I get their movies confused sometimes too,
yeah.
because they're very similar. They have that same eerie
Yes.
vibe. But yeah, I mean, for Jordan Peele to and you wouldn't even know it's him. You would think it's just two guys named Jordan Peele, but like it's legit. Like to come from like making comedy sketches and then making horror movies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. And I like his other two movies, Us and Nope. Those are pretty good too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Nope, but I like the movie Us. But and like you said earlier, there's all of his movies have a metaphor behind it and everything.
Yeah, a meaning behind
Yeah,
it. All right.
which is cool. But yeah, that's my top 5. So we can go ahead and break into yours.
Go. So my first one, obviously Bronx Tale.
Yeah, Bronx Tale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
say
playing up there. Yeah,
God, best movie I've ever seen.
that's on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I love A Bronx Tale. You know, I feel like you can watch it over and over again, just like God, it's just such a good movie, man. And then you know, the fact that it's kind of loosely based on a true story of his life, you know, and like what he's been through. I was like really cool too. And then I love like how the writing at the beginning's like showing the kids like mimicking them and like doing what they got to do, and then just like the making it comedic too. You know what I mean? I love A Bronx Tale like all my heart, and one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is whenever he's getting in there and he's talking to C.
Yeah.
And he gets in his car or whatever, and he like backs up, and you think he's gonna like throw it and drive,
Yep.
and like no, he just continues. And he's talking to C, bro, and he's like backing up. You know what I mean? Just talking to him, whatever, giving him dropping like major, you know,
Life
advice and all that, man,
Walls.
major knowledge. All while he's just backing up, like
Yep.
goes for like blocks. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then just parks, and then.
Yeah,
boom,
and
you
that
know?
scene
Yeah.
always confused me until y'all told me that it was like
He was-
that's like everyone's moving out of his way.
Right, yeah,
basically.
yeah. Like,
That's how
it's
much
like-
power he has
Right.
over that entire like town.
Right,
Like,
nobody's
they're,
saying nothing
Yeah.
to him
Yeah.
because he knows that he runs the town, and nobody's gonna say anything to him. They move out of his way, and all this. And when they see him coming, it's just like because he takes care of that whole town, But yeah, no, it's pretty good.
It's
flick.
also hard to get me into movies that have like that narration aspect.
Yeah.
They just pulled it off at the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? Even when they're introducing like the other characters, like the one with the ugly face and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
the Goodfellas type of movie, you know
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And like they're just like, introducing all the cake. Even with my favorite scene is when they're gambling. Like, put them in the bathroom. Put them in the bathroom. They're like, I don't want to go in there.
Right,
I got money in here.
Right, I got money here.
Like throwing 3 dudes
Coffee
in there.
cake. Yeah,
They
coffee
throw-
cake, whatever.
I don't want his face. I don't want his face. looking at-
No good.
No
Yeah.
good.
And then Mush. Yeah, it's the guy that like he has bad luck. But he's like if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid flick.
At my number 4 spot, we have The Whale.
The Whale.
One of the more indie films. My top favorites.
Is it indie? I thought it was A24.
It's
I guess
A24. So
technically
usually
still
they'll
indie,
pay A24 will go to these film festivals or whatever and pick up a movie,
Yeah.
and The Whale was one of them.
Right,
And-
but it was a play, wasn't it?
It's a play adaptation.
Okay.
So it's like it came out. The play was written, and then you had the playwright that wrote the movie as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's just so good. It's technically a sequel to a play called The Harvest.
Okay.
Right. And it's one of my favorites just because I love the aspect of like sucking me in, you know what I mean? But like we're like an hour into the movie and I'm still wrapped and like I'm not putting my phone down. And we've been in this 2-bedroom apartment for like an hour. You know what I mean? And it's
And
just
then-
about this.
That's what we've talked, and we talked about this before. Like to me, like everybody's like, "Oh my god, bro!" They only use this. They only use this setting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the whole film, it was filmed here. Like that's so brilliant, or whatever. To me, it just seems like it's fucking lazy, bro. like you only use one film,
Right.
One set, whatever. That's like what was it? Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was filmed like solely off of a camera phone. Right,
Right,
whatever
right,
it was,
right,
whatever
right.
one of the first iPhones, whatever it hell it was,
Yeah.
or whatever, you know. They're like, man, look how well it did, whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, dude, I get that, but the movie's still a piece of shit. It's you guys think it's cool, whatever, you know what I'm saying, because it's high quality or whatever for that phone,
Right.
But compare it to like an actual cinematic film, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
You know, and the movement and all that, whatever around and all like that makes you sick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, to each its own, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it just seems lazy to me. And then I guess we were talking earlier or whatever about how you can turn one room into a time capsule, right? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Whatever, you can make it look 1960s
Yeah.
or whatever, you know, and all that. And I appreciate all that, but I would rather see a director or a producer or whatever turn a whole town into
a
you know,
whole
50s and
set,
60s
you know what I
and
mean?
all that, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like me and Mom were talking. We saw that movie here, which is basically just one shot. You know what I'm saying? It shows from the Big Bang Theory to the Indians and the colonial times, and then all the way up to like now, like through COVID,
Yeah.
right? But it's all that one set, right? You know, but I get it. On the outside or whatever, it shows a couple cars passing by, and it's from the 50s, and then
Yeah.
it'll show the other family that's lived there, whatever, you know, and all like that. I get it. It's a cool concept, but it just seems lazy to me because it's just that one shot, like through that whole deal. You know, but and they do that new age progression thing like they did with the Irishman.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, they did that too.
That
so.
I feel, in my opinion, that
Which,
feels lazy.
I
to
guess
me.
that's you're right.
That
You know what I
feels
mean?
lazy to
Yeah,
me. It's
that's
like just hire a younger actor at that point. Like I hate it when they do CGI over the face or whatever to make him look younger.
Yeah.
It just seems
But
irritating.
I know me and you went back and forth on this, whatever, because I think the whale. Me personally, I think the whale's overhyped, and I think everybody was kind of like, it's Brandon Fraser's like, you know, big comeback and all that stuff like that, or
yeah.
whatever. But compared to other Brandon Fraser movies, dude, like this one, it shouldn't even be on his top 5 of list, whatever. He did a movie in like, I want to say like 80s,
Yeah.
maybe early 90s, called School Ties, where he's a Jewish guy, he's a Jewish kid, and this was in it was in the like, I think it went back into like the 30s, maybe the 1930s was the setting, and he went to Harvard, right, like that. And this was when nobody really liked Jews, like at all. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's only one person that really don't like Jews now, and that's Kanye. But back then in the 30s, like nobody really liked Jews, you know, and all that, whatever. And he was a star football player and everything like that. Whatever, he had friends, he had a love interest and all that, whatever. Well, they come to find out that they found out that he is Jewish, and they're like, they found out that he is Jewish, whatever, right? So everybody like kind of turns their back on him. And you're like, man, dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a good flick, bro. It's way better than The Whale, but I get it. I'm not trying to shit on your list. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, disagree. Say disagree. But my number 3, I have Green Book.
Green Book, I can agree with you.
That's
on
what I'm
that.
saying. Being one of the like best movies I've ever seen. We have a beautiful take on a true story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm sure,
true
obviously,
story.
you know, it didn't hold up to the actual, you know, story or whatever. But
Right.
like, still, it was really good.
Yeah.
I was like,
and
man,
that's what I was talking about. Showing
Yeah.
it turns a whole scene, a whole city into the 1950s or 1960s,
Exactly.
whatever it was based in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then-
Like you can tell that somebody put their heart and soul into
Exactly.
that shit, dude, and made sure like if it was staged in 1961, like the movie setting was 1961. You don't have a 1965 car in the background,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they went as far as that far into it. You know that. You know. But anyway,
And
go ahead.
one of our favorite scenes in that is whenever they're in the car and they just stopped by and got KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's like, well, what do we do with the bones? It's like eating in the back. He's like, we did this. Do this.
Throw
And
some
they start throwing, Mahershala Ali's character's getting into it, throwing all the bones out the window and stuff like that. And then the white dude, he throws the cup, the drink out the
drink
window, and Mahershala Ali gets all serious. He's like,
And then it shows them backing up.
backing up. It's like a smash cut, him backing up, no music. Like, the squirrels are gonna eat it. They pick it up now. Like, okay. They opens
Yeah,
the
dude,
door,
yeah.
and takes it with
Yeah.
them.
And then whenever they're going somewhere down south,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
you know,
down south.
and the janitor or whatever is setting up whatever, and they're like, "Hey, this isn't a Steinway. You got to have a
trash in
Steinway
there."
per the contract,
Yeah.
whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, there's trash in there." He's like, "Well, pick it out." He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And he calls him like a slur or whatever, and he like open handed like slaps the shit out of him and like this, whatever, right? And then like you're saying, a cut scene, and then it's him playing on a Steinway.
On a
You know what I
Steinway in that
mean?
same one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's a good one, dude.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
And my number 2, I have a Japanese film called Godzilla Minus One.
Yeah.
Jason and I just watched this together. I got him to finally finish it. Watched it in the English dub. I will never watch things in English ever again. It's awful.
It got me. That one.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
one. It got
gets
me.
You, it gets you.
Yeah.
And I've tried to get you into like the foreign films before, like Parasite.
Yeah, man,
I don't think you were into it too much
Nah,
though.
I can't. I don't like reading movies.
Yeah,
know
which
what
is
I mean?
fair.
So,
I was about to say,
but,
Parasites would be on my top list, but it's just a whole different genre of like movies to me. And Godzilla Minus One has like a beautiful take on what the like war, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just the world life after World War II. The Japanese like take on what their life was after the bombs dropped. You
The
know
thing
what
I
I
like
mean?
about it is it's almost like a complete reimagination of the original like
original
1950s.
Godzilla. It's
like,
not the
Godzilla.
Americanized
like,
Godzillas
That's
and
because
stuff
Americanized.
like that.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like he was made in a
my
lab, or he
God.
was like they
Changed
purposefully
it.
dumped like
Yeah.
nuclear waste.
Exactly.
And he's like completely different. He like
Yes.
has like all these different forms and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, nah, bro, this is just like it was results of a war, and he just comes to shore, comes to Japan,
Yeah.
whatever, and he just like messes everything up.
So I'm
dude.
saying
And
that
he's
the whole
just-
thing is that the reason why he was so angry is because what humanity was doing to the Earth,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what when the bombs dropped, Godzilla was created from that nuclear explosion. So it was all the anger and from the bombs. And then he comes up, and then you see in Godzilla Minus One, you hear like the bone chilling original soundtrack of like the actual Godzilla and stuff like that, and how he walks and stuff like that. And I was like, oh,
and it's
so
like
cool.
like in the CGI is modern too.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like it
100%.
legit looks like you know what I mean. It's not like what are the special effects from
Yeah.
whatever the first one,
Yeah, exactly.
the black and white one,
Dude
whenever
in a
it's some
costume.
dude, yeah,
yeah, like messing around,
Yeah.
hitting things.
yeah.
It's like an actual,
Nah,
like,
yeah,
you know
it's
what I
good.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
literally
legit.
like literally the old one, what it would be today.
Right,
And
yeah.
that's what I
With the
love
new
about
CGI
it.
and
Love
all
it.
that, yeah.
But I mean, it's their story. So I can imagine they do it properly versus how we did it. And now it's like King Kong and Godzilla making out
Yeah.
on screen. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get it.
I think they've been trying to drag it in the recent like
That's what I'm
5
saying.
to
Yeah,
10
like the
years
first one
because
was good.
they're trying to add new monsters. Like
Yeah,
King of the
Mothra.
Monsters is good.
That's
though,
what
bro.
I know. But I watched through one of the recent ones or whatever, where he was sleeping in the Colosseum or whatever in Rome, or I think they I was watching with the Alexa, and it was just like I was just like, man, this is garbage. And I just put it.
I mean, the King Kong and both the King Kong and Godzilla, they have a following.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they have fans,
Yeah,
bro. Like, you know what I'm
100%,
saying? Like,
yeah.
people just like comic book or whatever and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Marvel has fans.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? And they have their following. That like,
Big following.
yeah, right. The Godzilla and that, they definitely got some. They have followings as well. But anyway, all right. What else you got?
So to kind of wrap it up, I've been like kind of debating because my top one is Neverending Story.
Yeah,
It's like my
Neverending Story,
it's
yeah.
like my 10 out of 10, my favorite. And I feel like when I every time I watch it, it's mainly for like the nostalgia.
That's all I was
feel.
about to say. Is
You
it
know
more
what I mean?
nostalgia
It's
for
more
you, or
nostalgia
what?
for me because I could easily name 10 other films that are way better than Neverending Story.
Yeah,
But it's like, it's like nostalgia, and I can quote it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's got a great costumes design, great makeup.
If you're in a
great
room, if you're in a room,
landscape.
yeah, if you're in a room of about like maybe 10, 15 people, and you say, the word, Artex, or
Yeah.
or, something like that, you know what I mean, or the Rock Biter,
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
like that, they're gonna know what you're talking
Exactly.
about.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
a good
God,
film.
I love that movie.
That's a good one.
And then they ruined it with the second one. But so
Yeah, that they did, which they do a lot of.
Oh,
of that, you know
all
what I'm
the
saying?
time, all the
Like,
time.
dude, like, why would you even put this out, bro?
It's
You
hard
know
to
that
make
it's
a good
gonna ruin
sequel.
everything.
that's why, in my opinion, it's hard
Yeah.
to make a good sequel unless it came out like before 2010.
But
You know what I mean?
I think it would be cool to reimagine it in live action though,
yeah.
which I wouldn't be
100%.
surprised
Yeah, right.
if they
Like
did.
use the
but-
CGI now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I think a lot of these, whatever they're ones. Was that your first? Was that your one?
That's my one.
Okay.
That's my one.
I think a lot of these, whatever, they get caught up in like copyright feuds,
Oh,
or
all the
they
time.
can't get the rights. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to redo it, but they can't get the rights because, especially now with everything coming back, like all this nostalgia and stuff coming back
Yeah.
and everything. You know, why wouldn't you redo that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that
Whatever,
would
'cause, you know,
sell like crazy, bro.
yeah. So
Especially with
definitely.
people like your age that like grew up with that movie, watched it when you were like super little, and kept watching it all the way
Right.
up until like today. Like, bro, imagine like they imagine they redo it and they make it
Revamped it,
just like
yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah,
use
dude.
today's CGI.
Yeah.
Bro, that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
Just give it to
it'd
the
be
right, give it to the right director.
Dude,
like, bro,
that's what I'm
that'll-
saying. But it's gonna come down to whether it's gonna be like I'm gonna roll my eyes because it'll come down to either Disney or another major company. It ain't gonna be anybody that's like a small town that has actual
Yeah,
potential. It's
right.
gonna
Well, I
it's
mean,
gonna
all
get through
those,
Disney.
but in their defense, all of them, like nobody has the money to
Yeah,
do
they
the
have to-
CGI.
Nobody
They
has
gotta
that
do
kind of
do
money.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it done before. Like even with movies like The Irishman, for example. Like I've seen people do their own fan adaptations of like how they could have made Robert De Niro look younger,
Right.
and it looks way better. And it's
Yeah.
like some like college student,
Right,
like
yeah.
hey, yeah, I just simply put this over it,
Yeah, for
rather
sure,
than putting
yeah.
this seed amount of 10 times CGI over his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
Looks insane.
For sure. Okay, you guys want to get into the honorable mentions?
I
now?
got some good
You wanna start
honorable
us out,
mentions.
Sam?
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
got
man.
some.
Start us off.
All right, start us off as Step Brothers. It's
Step
a
Brothers is good.
Comedy,
And, like,
comedy
and-
genius.
And we got to go if we're talking comedies, that's the number one
Yes,
on my list.
exactly.
That's number one.
100%.
Mhm.
Next, I have Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Ooh, that's a good
Fantastic
movie.
Mr. Fox is one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's a solid one.
Is that
Again,
one stop motion?
that one's stop motion.
Yeah.
That is
Right, yeah.
that one's stop motion. It's a really good one. And it's it's got
It's got
George
a lot,
Clooney.
It's got
as-
and it has like a lot of adult humor on
oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's
right.
it's really funny. It's like with the cuss, they got the where he's like, oh, he's different. And then, like, you know what I mean? They're like, why'd you do that?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just they said they're in their own world, and I love it. And then next, I have Treasure Planet,
Treasure
best
Planet's solid, bro.
animated movie of all time.
Solid.
My
That's,
favorite.
that was like that's one that gets forgotten about like a lot.
Quotable.
Yeah.
Very
You know what I mean?
quotable.
That's so cool. Like I mean, just like we were talking about earlier, the beginning of it, dude. Like you see a spaceship coming out or whatever, and you see this like from far away, you see like a quarter moon, right? It just
Yep.
like looks like a thumbnail, and then you get closer to it, whatever, like that, and it's a whole like city, bro. Like you know what I'm
cool.
saying? I'm like, dude,
Like, whole,
man,
like,
this is
docking
awesome,
station.
man,
It's
bro.
so cool.
Which is, of course, it's a remake from Treasure Island,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
in space,
Yeah.
right? From Treasure Planet. It's that's a solid one, dude. I like that one for sure.
And then after that, I have most of the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
Yeah.
Caribbean films. It's oh God, it's so good.
Yeah.
It goes Dead Man's Chest is like one of the best ones in my opinion because it introduces Davy Jones and like he's really cool. And then A World Anew, I think is what it's called,
Yeah.
where everything's going down and like he dies in it and stuff like that. Davy Jones is one of the best villains of all time, just an FYI.
Yeah.
But bro, and then Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow. Like it's just really cool. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Another movie where it's like Disney took it and flushed it down the toilet
Yeah.
and then brought it back out. It's just awful now, but they got a lot of work to do with it. And then after that, I have Real Steel.
Yeah, Real Steel
From
solid.
you want to talk about good CGI, dude?
Yeah.
That's a movie. That's what I'm saying. But I think it'd also be funny where it's like you take the CGI out, it's just these dudes looking at these guys in green suits, like
Yeah, good
punching
guys
and like
in-
boxing and
yeah,
stuff like
mocap
that.
suits
It's
and
a
all
good
that.
it's a good storyline. It's like
Yeah.
the Rocky basically,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
with robots. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's Sean Levy. That's the dude that did Wolverine and Deadpool.
Another Hugh Jackman random movie
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
he's
right?
just
Yeah,
in.
yeah, exactly,
Hugh
yeah.
Jackman's in that, by the way. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then we're talking about Hugh Jackman films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one,
Like that-
random movies.
like random
other than
movie
Wolverine,
films,
that
yeah,
he's
other than
not
Wolverine.
in. Because,
Yeah.
like, bro, dude, he's pretty versatile, too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, how we were talking about Chappie.
Yeah,
where he plays the villain, and
He
he's got,
plays the ultimate villain,
Yeah.
bro. Like he has the villain look.
he's got the mullet. He's, like,
The
he's
shorts.
buff. He's got the knee-high cargo shorts.
He's just an asshole throughout the whole thing.
And then he's in is it The Greatest Showman? Is that
The
what it
Greatest
is?
Showman, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he's in that one,
His
and like he does the musical The Music Man too.
yeah, we went
Yeah,
we went and
that's
saw
what
that
I saw that
in
when he was good in that.
in New York.
Yeah, mom called the controversy with him and his wife.
Ooh,
By
yeah.
the way.
No,
Oh
Mom
yeah,
fully
she called that. Yeah, she
She's
called
like,
that
"They look
shit.
a little
She's like,
closer."
yeah,
He's
they
like,
look.
"Nah."
There's something's going on there, right?
Yeah.
And this was way before that. Like he had got a divorce from his wife and all that. And then next thing you know, those two are seen together
Yep.
like that. Were in The Music Man. Crazy. Mom's good with that shit
Yeah.
though.
whatever.
But,
Is that all your honorable mentions?
That's all mine. That's all you, bro.
Okay. So one of mine, my top one. for,
Avengers 1, 2, and 3.
three.
Cars. Cars 1 through 3.
It was my one on there is Baby Driver.
Baby Driver's
really good.
solid, bro.
It's really good action movie. Like I said, I like the way that it's directed, where they got the whole like scenes and everything is
Yes.
adapted like with the music.
Yeah.
So like his steps or like the gunshots towards the final scene or even the beginning, like how everything like there's graffiti on the wall that matches the lyrics and the scene and all that. It's just really cool. Like, and they got the atmosphere going on, and it takes a lot to. You can tell it's like it's a lot of it's like real like choreographic, you know,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot to it.
That and another great cast.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
just a really
badass
good cast.
Yeah.
dude. That's good. Jamie Foxx, John
Yep.
Hamm,
Kevin
Kevin Spacey. You know all that. What I love about it, you know, talk about great writing. You know what I'm saying, and like comedic relief is right before they were about to go rob the bank.
Yeah.
Right, it's like, okay, let's get the mask out, whatever. And he puts on a mask, and it's the Austin Powers mask.
Yeah, it's Michael
right?
Myers,
Right,
yeah.
and he's like, what is this? And he goes, it's a mask. He goes, I know it's a mask. He goes, what is it? He goes, it's Mike Myers. And he goes, he goes, it's supposed to be. What is it? He goes,
it's supposed to be Mike Myers,
Myers.
like the guy from Halloween.
Right.
Right? He's like, it's supposed to be the guy from
Mike
Halloween.
Myers, and like,
Yeah.
right, like from Halloween, right? And he goes, it's supposed to be Mike Myers. He goes, it is Mike Myers, and he's like, no,
He's like,
the
no,
Halloween
the
mask, and he goes, this is a Halloween mask.
this is a Halloween. No, the movie. He goes, oh, you mean Jason?
Oh, Jason.
Oh, Jason.
Oh, yeah, that part
Like
is
that
so
right there,
funny,
bro. It's like that's like comedy writing at its
Yeah,
best. You know what I mean?
and
Something.
they come back and he's like, you know, he's got his music playing. It has to play like on time or
Sure,
else he
yeah,
can't do it. And he's like, all right, let's go. And he's like, oh wait, hold on, I gotta change the song. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah,
That's,
that's
good
why
fun.
that one's on there for me, mostly because of the way that they have it like directed.
Right.
Another honorable mention is Whiplash
A good
with
one.
Miles Teller, J.K.
Solid.
Simmons. Like, bro, that one, the acting in it, indie film, recorded in 19 days, bro. Like that one was
I
really
forgot.
good.
Yeah.
So that one is actually it was a short film that was it was at Sundance, and it
Right.
got picked up.
Got picked up.
by
Exactly.
someone or whatever, and then he got to pick Miles Teller, and he
Right.
reached out to J.K. Simmons and stuff, and just a bunch of other extras, and yeah, dude, that one was pretty crazy, and it's good for like just like the small amount of time they had and like the small budget that like you didn't even need really. He just needed the budget to pay Miles and Simmons, like that's it.
That's crazy, bro. 19 days. Like you see these movies and they're winning, they're walking away with all these Oscars. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? You're like, dude, it's a guy playing drums.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And then you realize you're like, dude, this was filmed in 19 days.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Low
saying.
budget film.
Yeah,
It's
You know what I mean?
recorded
And-
at like almost all of it is like at a school. Like, it's
Right,
at
like
a
a
school.
college or something.
There's
On
like
a
an
school ground.
auditorium, and
Exactly.
then there's like a jazz club. Like
And
that's
you know that
really,
school
like,
probably let them do it for
Yeah, they
free,
let 'em
Right.
do
or
it,
that,
yeah.
or like took a small charge or something
Yeah.
like that, because it was
Yeah.
probably in New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
everybody's
dude,
filming
yeah,
there.
and then you find out or whatever, like all this went into it, and you're like, okay, now I know why it won an Oscar or whatever, or an
Yeah.
award or whatever. Yeah, so that's cool. You got to kind of take that into effect, you know. But okay,
Another one is A Man Called Otto.
yeah,
That's
that's
it. I
a
think
that's
that
was
a
a good
newer
one.
one.
Yeah, I think that one came straight to Netflix. It was
Yeah.
like a Netflix film or something, which is kind of surprising because a lot of the Netflix movies they don't do that good. But this one, yeah, dude, it got me pretty good, bro.
It's
Like
solid.
it's really emotional, and it's about a guy who was he's like a man's man, you know, and
Right.
it's like he knows how to do
Oh, yeah.
everything from
Right,
a
he-
car,
yeah,
and
works
he's
with
like
his
an
hands.
engineer, and he like he's been doing manual labor all of his life. and you just see him. The very opening scene. It's like him trying to, and it kind of shows old people like trying to adapt to the new world, or just how kind of messed up the new world is.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, he's trying to kill himself because he just got laid off, and his pregnant wife had died like a while back. So he goes to buy 5 feet of rope, but you can see him at the hardware store, and it looks like he's just trying to do a project because he's checking each rope, and like, can I help you, sir? And he's like, nope, I got it. Like, I know what I'm doing. I got it. And he gets like the scissors and he cuts the rope off himself, and the workers like,
But you're not supposed to do
like,
that.
No. Like, and he's like, are you afraid I'm gonna cut myself or what? And he's like, well, we usually just do it. And he's just like, and he just walks to the register. And he's like, I can cut my rope. I know how to do it. And then and he goes to buy 5 feet of it, and I know we have to charge we charge by the yard. And the manager just like is not helping at all because she has no idea what to do because she's like a 20-year-old, and it kind of shows what today is like, especially for old people. And then that's why I like it so much. And he's a very down to routine guy. So he's waking up every day, doing his rounds, taking out the trash and all that. So it's real interesting to see all the people, his neighbors, helping him. Yeah, they don't know that they're helping him, but they're
but they're helping him.
But they are, and it's keeping him from committing. But that's why I like it so much. And then my last one, kind of a group, is like all the Avengers movies, basically.
yeah.
They're I mean, dude, like there's good movies, and like you said, it's cheating with like the CGI because it would be nothing without it, obviously. Yeah. But I mean, dude, like you gotta give him the credit. Like,
you gotta give, but you can't get past the original Avengers.
Yeah, like
it keeps you interested. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like before that, like all it was just whatever you read in the comic books.
Yeah.
In your imagination.
Exactly.
But now it's like we're real.
You
know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like they're gonna put whatever Chris Evans is casted to play Captain America. Yeah. And like, damn, that's actually pretty good. You know, and then Robert Downey Jr. Dude, I don't care what anybody says. That dude, he was made for that part. Like, he was born for that part as Tony Stark. There's no way.
Nobody else.
I couldn't see anyone replacing that.
A lot of people thought, because I think he got turned down for the role. Tom Cruise was supposed to play Iron Man, and I think it's really funny, these big time actors and stuff like that turning down these roles that could have made them set for life.
It's like, that's Will Smith. He turned down Neo from The Matrix.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which I think a lot of them, I think a lot of them also look back and they're kind of glad they did, because they're like, man, this dude, he killed that role. Like, he did something I probably couldn't. So what I hope that these people see it as, but I mean, they could probably regret it too and just be like, man, I probably should have took up on that role. But it could have made that movie like completely different. Like, Matrix wouldn't have been as noticeable as it is now if like Will Smith did take it, or it would be better. But it didn't matter.
I mean, I think Keanu Reeves did his thing on it. And the whole trilogy. All that works. I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan, but but I mean, I'm a big Will Smith fan too. So I think I like a lot of Will Smith's movies, too. So. Yeah, that's cool. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, I got a few honorable mentions here. One of them is Dead Presidents. That's another like bank robbery flick or whatever. You guys might have seen the guys dressed up in all white. They have white faces and they're dressed in all black and all this stuff and everything. It's during the time of the Vietnam War and all that and everything. And he comes out of the war and he's not getting really any help from anybody and stuff, whatever. So he stages this whole robbery thing and all that. That's a really good flick. Another one is The Green Mile, which is it has that big black dude. I can't remember his name. Whatever. He's in. What did you say, Ryan? Was he in? He's in Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Talladega Nights is the
comedy part of it. Yeah. It really shows his range.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he does The Green Mile like that, and man, The Green Mile is really good. That's another Stephen King one as well.
Man, I think he's in a couple other movies
he is, man. Yeah, he was starting to make it, and then it's like R.I.P. is like his I don't know, his heart stopped or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like I mean,
something crazy.
Being a big dude like that, man, like Andre the Giant, you know what I mean?
They got like bad problems.
You're not gonna live till like 50, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what sucks about it. Like, being that huge, like, it's just it's science. It's science. You know what I mean? Like the stuff, your body just got to work harder. You know what I mean?
That's one of Tom Hanks's best work.
One of his best films.
Yeah. Got Reservoir Dogs. That's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. You know, all of his movies, whatever. I just like really prefer Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those deals that's like kind of what you're saying, what you were saying earlier is like it's staged mainly in that like warehouse, you know, or the safe house, right? But he'll flash back whatever, you know, and stuff, whatever. Like, hey, what happened to whatever? What happened to Mr. Orange? And then it's like, oh man, he went out in a gun blaze, right? And then it flashes him like, you know, in the middle of the street shooting at cops and getting shot, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know, in scene, you know what I mean, like that. And then it's just it's a really cool flick for me. I like that one. Another one is I had Warrior on there. Goodfellas. Goodfellas is such a good flick, dude. I think you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of Martin Scorsese's like, you know, best work, whatever. It's loosely based on the truth, whatever, about Henry Hill and all that, and him being a snitch and all that stuff and everything like that. Whatever. It's cool. Robert De Niro, he played Jimmy Conway, which is, you know, a true guy. Like he was a real mobster. You know, all that. That was a good one. I got I don't know if you guys remember this film. It's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It's called Heat. It's loosely based on bank robbers, right? You know, and Al Pacino plays the cop, and then Robert De Niro, he plays like the guy that the strategic whatever mastermind out of all these like robberies and all that stuff like that. One of the best scenes is that Al Pacino he has his whole crew, like his whole whatever cop, you know, squad or whatever, you know what I mean, and they're chasing him down. They're trying to stay ahead, one step ahead of Robert De Niro, right? Well, Robert De Niro, like, it's I gotta nobody has seen him. They haven't seen each other yet. Like Robert De Niro hasn't seen Al Pacino and vice versa. So Robert De Niro was like, I got to see what these guys look like, right? I got to know who I'm looking after for, who's going to be after me. So he like leaves some breadcrumbs, right? And like these hints or whatever, or something of the next, you know, robbery was going to be, and it's going to be in the port, right? Like, you know, some in some port, whatever, where it had a bunch of trailers and all that stuff like that. And Al Pacino and his squad gets there, and they're looking around, and everybody's like, "Man, he's supposed to be here. They're supposed to like this, whatever." And then Al Pacino like just starts like laughing, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy's good, man. He's a professional." Yeah, right. And he goes, "You guys know what y'all are looking at here, like that, whatever, you know, like that, whatever." And he's like, he goes, "Smile, boys." He goes, "Smile, boys." He goes, "We're being filmed right now, like that, right?" And then it zooms in, and like, whatever 200 yards away or whatever like that, it's Robert De Niro, and he's up on like a crane, and he's taking a picture of all of them. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like basically like you think you're trying to be a step ahead of me, well, I'm like 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. You know, it's a solid film. But anyway, other than that, so are we? What movies are we looking forward to seeing this year?
Well, one of the big movies I'm looking forward to seeing too is a A24. You know, another A24 banger. You know, you know what I mean? With Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. I've been avoiding the trailers. You know, I've been trying not to see too much about it because it's one of the movies I kind of want to raw dog and just see. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. I want to see what that's like, just because I love Tim Robinson so much and like most of the comedies that he's in. So I think it'd be interesting to see him in this dark comedy, because you know, if A24 bought it, it's going to be a dark comedy. It's dark, right? It's going to be a dark movie. So I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like. Yeah.
Did y'all watch that one where it was a kind of like a spoof or whatever from Y2K? It was like New Year's 1999, and like, you know, the Y2K thing was supposed to happen or whatever, but it did, you know, of course it didn't happen in real life, whatever, but it did happen in that movie, and it was 24, right? It's kind of like almost like dark humor, like slash horror film whatever, because the machines or whatever started coming alive and all this crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Typical A24 work.
Right. But I like A24 movies. Another one that I was debating on putting maybe in like the honorable mention was that newer Civil War. movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Man, I didn't
Texas,
even get to
where
see that
it's
one.
dude, it's crazy. Like, 'cause,
Yeah.
like out of all the states in the U.S., Texas and California
Yeah.
team
They
up.
team up
And
they become
and-
basically become
yeah,
their own
and
nation,
I
right?
thought it was gonna the trailer kind of like it kind of throws you off. But I might have just been paying that much attention.
Yeah.
But it's following a war like photographer,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the what is her name, like Gwyneth Powell or something like that. It's the chick who plays MJ in the original like Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I can't remember her name.
But
Yeah.
she's the photographer, and she works with like her boyfriend or husband, and like they're following around these people that are basically going to raid the White House, and the president is he plays Ron in Parks and Rec.
Ron, yeah.
Yeah, and
He plays the
he
president.
plays the president.
That's funny.
And and they have this one girl, she's like 17 or something, and she wants to do what she does, but you realize through the movie like she's not ready for this, like because she's caught up in the war,
Right.
and they have to hide behind a bush for like an hour because there's a sniper and they can't cross the road and stuff, and then some guys they stop them in the middle of the road, and like they
Yeah.
kill one of their friends and stuff, and they're like, where are you guys from, like which side do you support, basically. And yeah, bro, and the economy has gone to crap because they're like, we have like $300, like can we get some
Right.
gas?
Yeah.
And like $300 can get you a sandwich. And they were like,
Yeah.
all right, well, how about 300 Canadian? And
Right,
they're like,
and
okay.
then they kind of like they let them, right, they take that,
That's
whatever,
cool.
right, which I mean right now it's reverse.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like our dollar's worth more than Canadian.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool. I like that. What movie are you looking for?
So it's already out. Just came out like yesterday or 2 days ago. I want to see the Brave New World,
Yeah.
Captain America movie, but it's the Falcon. I've already heard bad things about it, which sucks.
Which
but I mean,
does suck.
it's a Marvel
It's
movie.
not a surprise.
And it's one of like it's a more mainstream Marvel movie, so
Yeah.
that's definitely one that I'm like I have to see. I haven't really been keeping up with like the shows and stuff. I thought about watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I heard that one didn't do like great. I've heard mixed opinions about that one, but I mean,
Well, that's
I
what
might-
that's what we were talking about earlier. Is that like I can't do that, man. Like
Yeah.
whenever the first Marvel movie started, at the end, whatever, there was like a hint of like what the
Right,
next movie was going to be. You know what I'm saying? It shows Thor's hammer or whatever. And you're like, oh man, dude, they're about to bring Thor in. You know, and all that or whatever and stuff. Now on these newer ones, they're like, okay, well, to get this movie, you had to have watched all the Loki show, right? You had to have watched all the WandaVision show,
Yeah.
and you had to,
every single
right? You
spin-off
you know,
and
you had to
show
write,
that they
you had to
have.
watch that piece of shit, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Oh.
get like, I'm like, dude, like I can't do that, man.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
not
bro.
to
Like,
it.
I'll watch a movie. I'll watch them in order. I don't mind watching the movies in chronological order or whatever to do that. I'll do that. But once you start sending me on these side quests and all that,
Like,
bro,
nah,
like you
I
lost me, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Get it out of here.
a lot of people are upset because they're like, oh, he's never gonna be Steve Rogers or whatever like
Right.
that, and like they emphasize that in the movie.
Right.
He says like, I'm not gonna be Steve Rogers, but I will be like Captain America.
Sure, yeah.
And if you don't know, he didn't even want to be Captain America at first. You have to watch the show for it, which
Right.
sucks, but. He didn't want to be Captain America because at the
Yeah.
end of Endgame, he gives him the shield,
Right.
and he was like, I can't do this. He gave the shield to a museum,
Right.
and then they're like, you know what? Like, we'll just choose someone else. We'll just
Sure.
choose someone else to be Captain America.
Yeah.
And this dude, like, first day on the job, like, decapitated somebody with
Yeah.
the
Yes.
shield,
Yeah.
and it's
Aw,
like,
man.
whoa, like
Yeah.
that's not Captain America
That
right
was
there.
good.
So he took the shield back, and then now we're here. His whole suit is vibranium with help from like Wakanda and everything.
Right.
And now we're here where he's like, okay, like I'm gonna be Captain America.
That blonde haired guy, the one that they end up giving
Yeah, they
the
give shit,
shield
yeah.
to or whatever, that's Kurt Russell's son.
Nah.
It's
for
Wyatt
real?
Russell, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He's a good. He plays that role really nicely.
Yeah. But yeah, okay.
You looking forward to any movies
yeah,
coming
you
out?
guys-
Man,
I was gonna say,
man,
can't-
I don't think so, dude. I
was
really
say,
don't.
They're not really making anything that appeals
Did-
to.
Did you watch Nosferatu?
No,
Did you end
I
up seeing
didn't.
it?
You need to go see
Nah,
that. Though. We were
yeah,
talking
bro,
about
yeah,
it.
but then I was like, man, I don't know, bro.
Because dude,
This is
no,
like-
because
this got a little-
as I
this
was
a little
looking
too
into it, I
much.
was like, this looks really cool.
Yeah.
But then apparently, from what I've heard from everybody, like, bro, that movie freaky. And I was like,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, like
I was
scary?
like-
Like, no,
No,
like,
like-
don't watch this with your parents.
Right,
kinda
exactly,
freaky.
bro. That's-
And then
I heard the same thing, and
then
I'm
you
like-
come up to me like a day after the movie came out, and you're like, dude, we gotta go see it. And I was like, yeah. I found that out at work. I was like, maybe not. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit with dad and watch this movie.
Right.
I don't think I could sit in a theater and watch that, bro.
I could sit in the theater and watch it with like my friends or something like that.
Yeah.
But like you know what I mean, like family, I can't do that.
Nah, I'd be falling asleep at the theater.
I heard I heard the film, like the film part of it was it was cool. Like
Yeah.
don't be surprised if this wins like Best Picture.
Probably
Because they
Yeah.
said that it
But
was
they
like
said, but it's very dark. Like it's almost black and white,
Yeah.
like the whole movie.
Right,
But
but it
it's
has
like,
a
but you can
hint
but you
of
can
some
tell
color.
you can
Color.
tell that it's like
yeah.
that it's not. But in the dark scenes and stuff like that, where you can like kind of see them or barely see something,
Yeah.
like
Right.
wherever it's only black and white, and then
Yeah.
but obviously where there's lighting and everything, you can see a hint. It's just shaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean I can't really think of anything that's coming out.
It's just
That,
you got to look forward to like everybody's looking forward to like future Marvel movies. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Fantastic Four, Secret Wars.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah, no,
other ones.
I'm excited for
Same.
I'm excited. Like excited is a strong word, but that new Superman that's coming out.
That's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
dude.
that's gonna
Where
have
they-
what's it the dog
Crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah, it's gonna have crypto in it and
That's
stuff
what
like
I'm
that. I
saying,
think
bro.
it's
Like DC's making
That'd
his
be all right.
comeback. You
I
know
think-
what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
think-
DC's
yeah, I
gonna make
think
its comeback after this.
If this
Superman.
movie's good, it's gonna be it might be the revival of DC, and
Yeah.
it might kind of like completely swap
it's
because
gonna
for
take
the
over
longest
Marvel.
for the longest time it was Marvel was better than DC,
and they knew that.
Yeah,
Right.
but now I think DC's like, yeah, bro, Marvel's kind of been like doing trash recently.
Exactly.
That's like
So let's
like
make
bro, we can like if we make this Superman and we put a bunch more out after this
Yeah.
and get the attention back, like we can do something good.
Even
but
then, that Superman show was really good too. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the show. Did you ever get to see it?
which one? The Superman show?
Yeah, it was about Superman. Like you know what I mean? Like how he had a kid and stuff like that, and he's training him how to be Superman. Blah blah blah.
Is it new?
It kinda, not really.
I don't
Like
think I've
like
seen
came
that
out. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
haven't seen that one.
I guess not.
But it's a because they did come out with a Superman show.
They came out with a show. It's got the actor with. I'll have to show it to you later, but he focuses more on him, like being.
Oh,
He's being
he's
caught-
he starts
he's-
it starts out like he's a kid, right? And
Yeah.
he's growing up. I know,
Exactly.
yeah, I think I know. What he's
Exactly, and
talking
then
about,
then he's teaching his kid how to be Superman, how to control his powers.
He
and
has a
stuff
brother,
like that.
doesn't he?
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, his
Hmm.
kids have powers, and he's teaching them how to use them, basically.
Oh, wow,
Like,
yeah,
and
man.
they get
Yo.
and like I think one of them like they get bullied, and they're like this close to basically using their powers like on their bully, but then like they don't,
Yeah.
and they end up saving like the whole. It's kind of
it's an alright DC.
It's kind of like the
show.
original
Yeah.
Superman as a kid.
Yeah.
Like he saves all of the he saves like a whole school bus and stuff.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. I have to check that out.
Yeah,
But
it's a different twist. Yeah, it's like he has kids and he's just teaching them how to use powers. Yeah,
Right.
it's pretty cool.
right on. Okay, well, cool. That'll work. That rounds up our top 5. Like I said,
Sure.
if you agree with it, give a thumbs up. Let us know if you think you have a better top 5. Also, let us know that. I guess, like I said, that's Ryan. This is Jason. I'm Chris. We'll be doing other stuff like this. Whatever we'll get into. I don't know, maybe TV shows.
TV shows has gotta be next. Yeah.
Top actors. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying?
can
Whatever.
get.
so,
Yeah, let's say if we go live like next Sunday, we can get into like series,
Right.
actors,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Maybe production companies or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll come out with a date and time. Just tune in and
Yeah.
we'll and just put in your comments. Comment on this video, like you said, top 5. Whatever you have, movies, or maybe something that we might have missed or whatever.
Yeah.
And just let us know.
For sure. All right. Well, till then, you guys stay tuned, stay safe, stay solid, keep your circle small.